Hey guys, I'm Dr. Ruth Roberts and welcome to Ask the Vet. We'll be posting videos once or twice a week to answer your questions. And if you'd like to submit a question, click on the link below to fill out the form and we'll get it answered for you as quickly as we possibly can. So to kick things off, Barbara from California asks, are there any houseplants that are attractive and safe for cats, especially for the nibbles? And cats love plants, but they do tend to make them vomit. So there are several commercial kits for growing wheatgrass or barley grass. Both of these are very nutritious and they have the upside of being high in soluble fiber, so vomiting is much less likely. Because this has become so popular for people and people that juice, things of that nature, there's probably a ton of DIY advice for growing grasses that are often used for juicing on Pinterest, so check that out. Next, Fran asked, my little elderly mixed breed dog often has excess odoriferous exudate in his ears. Is there a natural product that can be used to circumvent this? I prefer not to use mass-marketed prescription drugs made out of chemicals. Chronic ear issues are often associated with food sensitivities, and so while it's an external problem with the wax and the itchiness and the yucky smell, it often starts on the inside. So to help control those symptoms, feeding a home-cooked diet such as the original Crock Pet Diet can be very helpful. Additionally, there's a product called Canine Ear Solutions, and the folks that make this, Liquid Health, have included gentian violet in the solution, and so that helps to kill off both bacteria and yeast, which contribute to the smell. It also helps to remove some of the wax and reduce the itch. So hope that helps you, Fran. Susan asked, hi, Dr. Ruth. Why are so many cats dying from failing kidneys? I've always fed a grain-free holistic food. And Susan, this is a question that's been plaguing me for many years. Even though you're feeding a high-quality food, if it's dry, it's actually one of the causes of kidney failure. Dry food tends to keep cats dehydrated, and as a result, their kidneys are always suffering trying to get rid of the toxins. So one of the most important things you can do is switch to either canned food or a home-cooked food like the original Crock Pet Diet. Additionally, cat vaccines, strangely enough, are actually grown in cat kidney cells. That's the only way that they can make the vaccine viruses safe so that they'll actually create an effect to protect the cat from the virus, but also effective. So as a result, it's important to follow a minimized vaccine schedule. So it's important to use booster vaccines for kittens, so a series of 2 is generally sufficient. Booster at 16 to 18 months of age, and then after that, for the upper respiratory virus vaccine, the duration of immunity is usually 5 to 7 years or more. So blood titers are a great option to figure out if your cat is still protected or not. Rabies vaccine does still have to be given every 3 years, and while there's research underway with the 7-year challenge study, unfortunately many of the animals start to have their titer against rabies virus drop 4 years or 5 years after vaccination. So keep doing that one every 3 years, but minimize the other vaccines as much as possible. Thuja post-vaccination can be helpful in minimizing the side effects as well. Next, we've got Michelle asking about her 19-year-old Siamese kitty that was diagnosed with early renal failure in November of last year, and now she's at about 25% of kidney function. And she's eating prescription kidney diets but doesn't like them, so she's eating Friskies canned food mixed with water. And her question is, how long do we think she'll live? She's lost some weight, and Michelle's obviously very concerned. She's still grooming, the kitty is still grooming herself and eating well, but she's drinking a lot. So it sounds like things are starting to kind of pick up steam with your kitty as far as kidney disease. And what's interesting is that in the early stages of kidney disease, where the blood values are just barely elevated, the survival time is very, very long, like on the order of 3 to 4 years. So if your cat is stable, she's eating well and maintaining weight, she may live for quite a bit longer. So the other conundrum is, though, if the values are getting worse, and in particular the phosphorus is increasing, she may only be with us for a short period of time, on the order of 3 to 6 months. So if you've looked at my kidney health program, I talk quite a bit about quercetin improving kidney function. And so this is definitely something to explore to help stabilize her disease. If you haven't, go check it out on the website, either the original crockpetdiet.com, which will be launching soon, or drruthroberts.com. Next, Jackie from California asked, is it more expensive to feed the Crock Pet Diet? She has 3 dogs and is on a fixed income, so it's worrisome to her. And it's true, there's an expense involved with everything, but it's kind of that old adage of pay me now or pay me later, and obviously not me directly, but your veterinarian. So if you feed the best quality nutrition you can actually prevent disease and save money on your vet bills. So with smaller dogs, it's about the same cost as many of the commercial foods. With larger dogs, it certainly is a bit more expensive. So some pet owners have circumvented this cost issue by feeding half dry food, half cooked food, and I've even had some owners that simply just couldn't get to cooking and will feed some frozen mixed vegetables that are cooked in boiling water and warmed up, mixed in with the dry food. Everything helps, and the thing is figuring out what you can do consistently for your pet. Hope that helps. And then lastly, Sally from Pennsylvania asked, I'm curious about vaccine schedule for my cats, as there's some question about the schedule. So she's got a bunch of kitties and she's trying to do a great job with rescue work. So here's my recommendations. If you have a dog, a great place to start is the American Animal Hospital Association vaccine protocol for dogs. For cats, the American Association of Feline Practitioners. They've published a vaccine protocol since probably 1999, since the question of how often do we actually need to vaccinate came up. In general, for cats, my recommendation is a series of 2 vaccines for kittens, roughly at 12 weeks, and then the last one at somewhere between 14 and 16 weeks. For feline leukemia, if the kittens are outdoors, then it's a two vaccine protocol as well. And then rabies somewhere in there, generally at least 2 weeks away from the other vaccines. Ideally, you would separate each of the vaccines by 2 weeks to help minimize the impact on your kitten's immune system. Then at 16 to 18 months of age, or roughly a year after the last vaccine, that's when you'd want to booster all of the vaccines, again, ideally separating them by 2 weeks to help prevent impact on the immune system. From there, as we discussed above, the duration of immunity is somewhere between 5 and 7 years and may be lifelong for the upper respiratory virus vaccine. For feline leukemia, the interesting thing is that cats appear to develop innate immunity, or their ability to ward off the virus on their own without the help of a vaccine, at roughly 2 years of age. So unless you're in a heavily infested area, you may not need to boost your feline leukemia after that 16 to 18 month interval. Rabies, again, is required by law every 3 years, and again, there are studies underway with a 7-year challenge study to help determine how long a rabies vaccine actually lasts. But we're seeing titer values drop at 4 and 5 years, and so until these animals that have evidence of cell-mediated immunity can be tested against live rabies virus, we don't know for sure how well they're protected. So that's all for this post. Again, check out the link below if you'd like to submit a question, and we'll do our best to get it answered for you. Take care and have a great day.